We turn to Colombia now, where the government and the FARC have released a joint statement following a meeting they held in Havana, Cuba. With more now on the statement, here's our correspondent Natalia Margarita.
In a joint statement, Colombia's government and the FARC said they have agreed that the main point to be addressed during the next cycle of peace talks would be the so-called end of the conflict, which includes the discussion on a definitive bilateral ceasefire. For Diana Sanchez, member of a 260 human rights organizations network, this was a highly anticipated announcement.
2 years of the peace process passed before this announcement was made. This is a political process, and I believe that if a bilateral ceasefire happens before a final deal is achieved, which apparently it's going to be this year, that is a good sign that the peace process is progressing and that it is sustainable.
In mid-December, the FARC called for a unilateral ceasefire, which, according to David Flores, has already had a positive impact on the lives of the people in central and eastern Colombia, regions where his organization monitors the human rights situation.
Farmers, indigenous people, and Afro-descendant communities from the 9 states of eastern Colombia, a region where the armed conflict has been very intense, have said this is the first time in years that they could spend Christmas in peace. They have been able to do their work, their daily work, as they want to, which is the humble people in the rural areas that want to be able to work, to be taken into account, to be able to live in peace.
However, there is a situation that has been raising concern among the population of those regions.
In our organization, the farmers themselves are the human rights defenders. So on the one hand, they tell us that the unilateral ceasefire has been complied with by the FARC. But on the other, they denounce the increasing militarization of the region, the large presence of troops, and the increasing bombardments and machine gunning.
The Broad Fund for Peace is expected to release soon a report on the impacts of the unilateral ceasefire at a national level.
Meanwhile, human rights organizations and peace activists are waiting with hope for the discussion on a bilateral ceasefire to take place during the next round of peace talks, scheduled to begin on Monday, February the 2nd. From Bogotá, Natalia Margarita, Telesur.